hadal of a crutching go brisig dowry shachat agus ha season oor an SWPL atashgug as oor the hashing sanyer hua on the cove son a heat game Ackinge in shot is BBC Alpe le skip van nicht opering a chliachnig sedach gewache en tezen a galf at all night Rangers a chliachnig sedarna ache. Provisie Soul Eicherach is na Gemichen Ele Hyde Tachers Hadish in the J the Hechking and Shaw Agus Horshiga League in J Ag Padka Celtic Le Celtic Vunik Chichtel na League in Nuddy Vunichasen a J and Nij Gugnoni and they Dundee United Hibernian Vunik Raka Hun and they Partick Thistle is following a day Agus Kuchok Topen Mahad well Kudasen Dronjuk is Spartans a Koik Gahun Agus well Glasgow City Joe Hoshatoshki guys and a Vunik is following the day and they Montrose Agus an the hin ha heart a bunyik ag leachúne and they in skipper sur league Queen's Park. Fáilte of a cartin gur game pal kosha fisker and ju and shaw is BBC Alpha agus well sheol a la hacking a shosh in there who ha green hacking blas and yer jewla gutera hound is on game pal kosha. Opering at all in the Rangers. Hier game Ackinge van SWPL and Shaw is BBC Alpha. Agus am Tolchera calling a Jew ha Kelly for a shown skipper opering. Kelly, thank you for joining us for our first match here on BBC Alpha from the SWPL. And it's not often we say this, but it's sunny and warm here in the northeast. But it's great to be here, Aberdeen against Rangers and start the new league season. How much are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, absolutely. If it's anything to go by last season, I think there's going to be a spectacle again. I think you can't say there's been too much of a change in the top two, Celtic and Rangers. And I think, based on last season, I think this season's going to be much and such the same. There wasn't big differentiators last year, so hopefully it's much like last year and we've got an exciting end. Absolutely,
well said. And of course, Celtic, a historic season. They won their first ever league title and going into this new season as defending league champions for the first time, and they laid down a marker early on, a 9-0 win yesterday against Dundee United.
Yeah, absolutely. They've come out with intention, 9 goals, and we knew how important last season that was. Obviously, Rangers being disappointed to be beat on goal difference, but there was a couple of fixtures in there that obviously, took it away from Rangers in the end. They defeated Hearts in April, but yeah, absolutely, what a start from Celtic.
Looking then towards today's match, of course, that was the first official SWPL match of the weekend. This is actually the last one, Aberdeen against Rangers. Looking at Rangers, just staying with the title race at the moment. Rangers, of course, 2 trophies last season, but bitterly disappointed to miss out on the league trophy by 13 goals. How do you think they'll be feeling ahead of the new campaign?
Yeah, obviously disappointed. They've been beaten at the tail end by their rivals. That'll leave a bitter taste in their mouth. But I think, they can't be too difficult on themselves. It was so close. I think there was moments for Celtic that with Amy Gallagher scoring that goal late for the game for Celtic, so very difficult, and they can't be too hard on themselves. And I think Joe Potter said that at the end of last season as well. They'll sit on it for a night, but they have to get over it and move on and come in and show what it's all about, and ultimately look to get the trophy back.
Yeah, well, we can hear from Joe Potter just now. Actually, we'll talk a wee bit about your former side as well, Aberdeen, in a moment or two. Kelly, but thank you for now. Adras Tashin Tolach Langen, von the manager agus well, who Arnach Adish, Alec Henley, Fachel, the G Shaka, Kling. A dosha for Colin Bell agus notion Joe Potter.
Colin, welcome to the SWPL.
Thank you.
You've got an illustrious, stellar career behind you. What was the attraction of this particular challenge at Aberdeen?
The name Aberdeen to start with the tradition that the club has, obviously men's football, and then the chance of doing something, achieving something in the women's game that Aberdeen has never achieved. So that was the motivation.
It's been a summer of change on and off the pitch at Aberdeen. You've lost key players, Bailey Hutchison, Nelly Shore, Jess Broderick, all gone to Hearts. How challenging has it been for you to get a team together for this challenging start to the season? Yeah,
it's been difficult. It's been a stop and start pre-season, maybe the most difficult pre-season I've experienced so far in my coaching career. But again, you can moan about things or you can look for solutions, and that's what we're trying to do. We've brought in some players. They have to find their feet first, of course, and we'll just take it step by step.
Joe, here we go again. Last season was one of cup success, 2 cup successes for you, but I imagine the one that will probably niggle away at the back of your mind is the league that got away by goal difference on the final day, and how you go about setting that right for the campaign ahead.
Yeah, that's definitely got to be the motivation. You know, we've had conversations about, you know, how difficult that was for us to miss out on a treble by goal difference can cut you a little bit deep. So we've got to make sure that we learn from those moments. Looking back, and at the time, you know, it's a hugely successful season. Coming away with a cup double, it's really hard to do. And if you'd have asked me before the start of the season, I'd have snatched your hand off for that as well. So we've got to remember it was a very successful season. We played some excellent stuff. Our head-to-heads were brilliant against our opponents. We just got to make sure that we tighten up where we need to tighten up, and we've got to learn from those moments. And you know, it's something that we can't look back on too much. We've got to definitely look forward and make sure we do our business where we need to do it.
Sin gaibh maha na managerin iad thoiseach iad a chiad game achgusin ó Prengus Rangers thuailsing vo Joe Potter an hin agus runna sin thuailsing vo Colin Bell managerúr caiinich ag skipper ó Preng. Kelly, we just heard there from the managers, and I want to ask you about Colin Bell. And you have to say, an intriguing, attractive signing from Aberdeen. Of course, it's a big job for him. Aberdeen have lost quite a number of players. What job does he have to do?
Yeah, I think undoubtedly he's got a challenge in front of him. But I think the good thing is Colin Bell's said he's up for a challenge. As you've mentioned, his CV is outstanding. He's been in men and women's football. But yeah, you know, like it's changed again for Aberdeen, but I think they've gone in with intention by hiring Colin for the job.
It's good though. It's obviously great to see different people come into the league, whether it's managers, coaches or players. But it's quite a pull for the league to get someone like of Colin's calibre and pedigree to come to Aberdeen. Yeah,
definitely. I think that's why it's such a statement. You know, his CV's outstanding. He's won the Champions League with Frankfurt. He's just come back from a 5-year spell in South Korea. You know, he's been in football for a long time, and I think this guy's going to come in and set new standards at the club.
What do big question here today, because we saw Celtic winning 9-0 yesterday against Dundee United. It's very difficult for teams like Aberdeen, Dundee United to be starting the league against the top sides. What do Aberdeen need to do here today to at least make a fist of it?
Yeah, I think probably emulate what Colin's already said in his interviews so far. He's an organised guy, he's into his fitness, and I think today that's what's important for Aberdeen, is take something from it in terms, you know, every bit helps, a little bit of confidence, you know, keep the structure, keep the organisation, and then learn from today, if anything.
Well, Kelly, let's see what happens, but the teams are coming out over their shoulder, and well, Daum Akinge, who also is Klingishing Barach for Kelly Tronic game, so here to lay call of the Arnach Agus on a heel to it, and Tazen se hashing Krahalo Agus Fiskerma, go Alico Henley.
Shinavinkel Tapelet, Agus Toshach Linu, the show I got in Marashna Viclingenley. Manager uur Kluchach en skipper Rangers of is fiach in this Jichtel Vinnik, yes you gaul the lama gedigen taster Marashin de Viclingen, Jichanad of Hurl, Varach Gavak Celtic or it, Bishina Prosnach, Nicky Docherty, Agus Kachas on a Horian a Desan, Agus a coin to skip up Rain, Archie and Morishin, Can Skial at Bailey Hutchison, Yoily Shore, Jess Broderick. Clicket aan de weg, een kneef dromen de skip als je uluk het vallen go hard, zeg je doel aan de smoe, wie ze Colin Bell, vijgen die skippen, hoek alle die is je goemes kouden vatje, dus een skippen in een jaar als de league, als Emily Kraft doen en een clicket aan de weg eroin, ik popelig naar hier en het je een steeg en een neu, als Nieve Nobel Kutjak, het je cool, van Glasgow City, Gracie Robertson, je gaan een clicket aan ook, hadden just die voor hearts. Agus is on Rangers well Urgen had falav Rachel Rowe achos Sonrich Magavi de Senegal agus Rachel McLaughlin Kuchach falav a clicket an Urich in the state Lia Eddie Tonshach hiet yeah Maikish agus Liv McLaughlin at close at Lanunia vo Aston Villa Stu Sesanachai in the Revay Diesit agus Colin Bell the Champions League na ban vinnig kom de Frankfurt the Vina manager ek neither Archer Hoshka kom de Jurgen Klopp like Mainz skipping the fair Mr. Glushako skipping in a ban I guess Joe Potter be fatach gorische feinchen kimmer hg en coach achwelch Stu da goed be vinnig de deze na gai kan het son I mean Navarus na 3000 more deze sit I guess op Rijn is Gerkelach heen, weet je de Bringing the Nicky Doherty, Joel Kennedy, agus the Lina, Megan Mackay, agus Paulina Rusniak, agus Gera Vofike Khaju, Ewan Pau, La Pria, Show, and Noporain, agus Big Antigu, Dol Shia Soon do Vienna Fact, be Rangers a click in the Guyishin, Secured late. Kirsty Howitt, agus Leah Eddy. Baie Rangers na bheith och blindia gogus ach Norsen Chaiko Hib sayed Chile Gadashinish agus hiat game fachbisha Chaikisha agus Chile Katie Wilkinson Hanig vo Southampton Jaden Season Chai Dollar good game Dollars on Rangers through the Noi Tanshachug Gamat down a real Hollish agus a game of the good Godol Leigh Wilkinson that's Chelsea Cornet me and the pathkit Doherty, agus Hill, agus Eddie, drew that you cool on Rangers, Eddie, Tanshach, Mui the live yesh, Isha the Val the Drast, agus Cathy Hill, Stesavinian. Doherty, Dash Driach, for a volition of scored, like the ball, check at the shot, here to tie the Yano. Agus Emily Kraft, glick at the Hanneke can pick an Ech into operate, Coram Tra, Ach Peter Chile Gadash. Casey Robertson, a gelach Shiaplangia, Gluish for Hearts, Kuchach go operate, Taurik, find the heat, who a Gashkisha. Yes, a Paul Fata, Chloe Gover, Karana, see Machanyev, Elena Gian. Doherty, Tarsinko Lizzie Arnott. Rangers J Chile gas Spain for what in Valencia Fatscheken. Jessica is on the season uur. Emma Yeriakanoy Levante for the Khayat Yakanyoni. Agus Savinach at the Fiachandi operating goed for Goedje met je goal. Doherty the also is a lively Baltra in his day. And he's in it operating Jailik this agus Magedig. And Tuchum Goniv Noble a Deval as a fine. Ripa Amach, Kelly Forrest of Oscondham, and Kelly looks like Rangers have set their stall out early here.
Yeah, definitely could have been a sore start for Aberdeen there, but yeah, you know, I thought they would come out with good intentions, and they definitely have. I think Aberdeen have got to be set up ready for that all day. But maintain possession when they've got it. You know, I think Chloe Gover earlier on there had the ball quite comfortably at the back and decided to go long. It's moments like that Aberdeen need to maintain possession as long as possible and make it stuffy for Rangers.
Colach wil Gover toch lucht je goed. Get de was een smoenje gebui. Me in de paadje gaat de Tanshach willen keren dat je goed. Toch die Tarsinko Eddie die is het de winning Kishian en Kibs en playing in de WL nach Shin Pars more and Haring Vor Yish Chile Gadashko Rangers find you leap na dooshin. With McLaughlin if it is at Aston Villa close at Lanunya. Decent Circle Rangers to a Scott Wilkinson. Cornet. Goed, je gevallen is een vouw pikken. Dan ga ik Mia Macaulay in de Gumala State. Macaulay Swiss Elena. You expect Mia Macaulay to feature more this season, Kelly, with Rachel McLaughlin moving on, but I wonder if that'll change her game. Will she have more defensive responsibilities this season?
Yeah, potentially, but I think for her as a player, you know, she's obviously had a great season last season, and the big question is, you know, does she perform again this season? And that's what Rangers will be expecting from her, regardless of where she plays. But yeah, potentially, you know, Rachel McLaughlin is a key player for Rangers when she featured, so, you know, and I do believe that, you know, that she will take up that position pretty well.
Doherty vo Aster, agus Corntal Kilioris on Megan Sidey, and ik vo Dundee United did how the Union to flick down back United. They nuchke. Agus first na goed is je bal, mas. It's fine. Rio Hardy is Chinnestay. Kraft ga geronke gedor te gaan stinje de cool. Ik shin try go Victoria Essen. If I can a Olympic call the New Zealand. Yes, dash. Fat de is agus Jishar on 6 uur. Jenna 5 for weeks again in Levante. Doherty, Tarsinko Arnott. Rangers forward nog het je goed. Eddie. Vinach, Macaulay, cymal chawn dy sioloi ni ddifal. Mae'n dweud liad na pas gachlechgu. Arnott, Giri yn lwys ar sydd efo eisiau ddifel. Agus Docherty, gychwyd go Wilkinson sy'n wrth yn gyfi go Lizzie Arnott. Haas daich gysio, sydd go Wilkinson. Cornet, Tune Jenna Wade. Oh, the Vox is mwyn yn edrych bylig gael y ffordd. Agus i pwlach i Tarak a Chava gofer as y rad i yn erbych. Lachlan, faint yn torg yn y fawl y mi yn y path. Chai, da Czech at y sio. Nw'r un tygo por ein yw'r tas i enw. Kraft. Ddias, chan nw'r un gi fain y ffylaf o Cathy Hill. Eddie, gael cym ystod. Yn y fiau. Cornet, clech gyda'n iarst. Bwys at y ffylaf o hwn yn Tasha Bruce. Ys cach y mi yn y path. Shot corum to Rangers, Mach go Lizzie Arnott, ach ddies. Falach gen je fijn Shechat. Idda chwicid a Gian, Gracie Robertson ook. Traps a ha bawl, y Chinistay, agus hat edrych chi a Turline. Agus Wilkinson, y fijn. Chi a Turline gysio yn y game fachbysych, agus y bawl y Chinistay van a chliag. Agus Joe Potter. Couldn't have shech gajora, falach in gu inner ach a gu as na shoe like Rangers at the goal at Hoshach and Kelly. Gracie Robertson did well initially, but then she allowed the cross to come in from the left, and it was a tidy finish at the front post from Wilkinson.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Lizzie Arnott doing what she does best and getting the crosses in, and I think, you know, great start for Katie Wilkinson in her career at Rangers. You know, first goal of the season for Rangers by her, and that's outstanding. And I think, you know, she's obviously got a presence up there, and you know, playing with the likes of Lizzie Arnott, who's going to cross balls into her all season, you know, I think that'll be the first of many.
Jake Turl of Wilkinson is on Southampton. Des yn y chai, agus she glwchyd at y ber fach ges y championship des yn sy'n cwjach. It's a shielding gyfeilish doch yr wrth yn y farach the Rangers ac yn o'i. Des yn sy drwy dda sy'n hawyd jych glwchyd na Stonia, Rio Hardy agus Wilkinson. Hoe is ik er nu? Agus tasach dwlig i fwy op rein. Fiach in de hech nu wel. Tachart. Agus feimi at yr is Shiseveg Rangers nu goed gaat fwy fall alles sio. Gem ich in des yn y chai. Wel fa gem a gydig nid o a fast. I'ch ga cahwn y fawnt o Rangers. Agus Ronishin cwy cahwn. Cwtrymach gysochgrich op rein. Hij had barach zoer gyda faw. Dus gaan er weer een Eva Thompson. Dus sgwyllig ymach. Lies. Yn eich liach. Wat het hosach. Get er uitig beges yn y fel cael sy'n ystod yn y focs y fydd i macha. Dus McLaughlin gain a Sacha Falaf. Lies Thompson. In y faw. Zoals go Kraft. Falach yn op rein, je chwmal y mi yn y patkis. Rangers Caffac ar Olco yn y llun yla. Wilkinson. Arnott. Gisha sy'n y gwbrach y gymad i eisiau ys y baldiach. Do Ash gyda Madison Finney, yn y canol gysgili gyda Siachwma. Eddie, Mach Macaulay. Agus dwi'n ma'n cwnnant na'r gefi sydd y fawl. Fiach yn y lein ach eid y Sealers fan y fawl y sy'n. Agus Niamh Noble gyda fyny gyda Ashford. But it's an important time for Aberdeen Kelly. They really need to sit in, get touches on the ball, not let Rangers run away with us early.
Yeah, definitely. It's difficult, you know. It's important that they get their composure back, especially after conceding so early on. That'll be a disappointing start for Colin Bell and the team. But you know, yeah, absolutely. You know, when they're on the ball, there is elements of composure in the middle there, and they need to maintain that possession to stop Rangers. Essentially, you know, we know how powerful they are in the wide areas, and we can certainly see that in this game. But yeah, you know, it will be a difficult afternoon for them if they just sit off Rangers. So they need to move up as a team and as a collective and not let things slip away too early on.
Wel, Mr. Vriendchen dus het camera van kraker is toch een kemmetje en we gaan hier hechnig trade deze en gaan pullach chisele de hand. Dus als je tanschig is, die maakt natuurlijk jakker Hibs, Trosh, Celtic, Partick Thistles en United de heen. Paul Wachke doe al keta. Nobel, bij de eerste dag in United dag zat er geschach. Loyal Vashin, Noble, Shach at the Rangers. Kuchim Gach in McLaughlin is in Tra, Hannah Stewart, the eerste Rangers at the dash. De toen ik shields gemaakt me in een paadje op Rijn. Ik heb het goed met Rangers aan het hier toe. Die is chat het opgemaakt is nog. Zoals ik Kirsty Howard. Wilkinson, Tunday is Kind Cal, Rio Hardy. Vijf in de dash gehouden. Paultje, Liam Schachet, toch geef je dasha. Laughlin, Cascule gemaakt. Gedocherty, Ries Arnott zuur, prachtige fiddelchies, toch in de lijnen, Arnott gejarige dash, agus fara fast, agus Hardy, leis het heel purste, ik vast de goal, giet erp, bij Cornet, chine dash, fara fast, agus Rio Hardy en Oortjen, lent alle schech, agus goed schech at the line and Kelly. Great from a Rangers point of view, but what Aberdeen wanted to avoid, having conceded that early goal.
Yeah, it's almost the exact same as the first goal down the left. Lizzie Arnott does brilliant again, puts in a good cross, and to be honest, they're all lining up to take a shot. And I think Aberdeen are caught ball watching a little bit there. Not the best start from Aberdeen, but what a start from Rangers. Everything that we want to start from this game.
Wat je heet en Rio Hardy in de hul richtje, dat is een goede vachtbus, zei de giethul. Janne deze en een met haar, ja Cugnoni. Zo'n Rangers. Le pikken een schick minnetje neergelag, goed tegen Fisker, kan maar vatten, wist de shot te go op een. Hier is Sjaak Cornet al een wat je goed is. Daar moet je ook zeg je heen. Eddie, ook al eens tegen de vier. Colley, Edash, go Eddie. Cornet, voele bos, Lishaneur, Pavashin, Mr. Good Hardy is Checha. Macaulay, Le Coramille, Pauwaard, goed is Chech. I guess, Coramore, Vashin, Lizzie Arnott. Well, the way she started the game, Kelly, you half expected her just to clip that into the net.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it came off her shin there, but yeah, absolutely great start from Lizzie Arnott, and again, just dominant down the wide areas. Aberdeen needs to sort that out. You can see as well Kirsty Howard dropping into the midfield area, and it's causing confusion for I think the four in the middle. But certainly for me, it's about Aberdeen to sort out these wider areas and prevent these crosses coming in.
Well, I care that je cool. Gaan je lischkelach kan het daar kunnen we. Jelijk die Arnott, Gracie Robertson, maar hem graag in jullie. She up and Gia Kugush, nearly geweldig zijn. Wilkinson en Chin Toint, Chin daar je mee in de paadje. Kuchem Chin Orishevo, Tasha Bruce, de Paulo de Magie de Val. Colley, Hardy, cool as het dash, kom Macaulay. Hoe de hier het heel professioneel maar misschien Karsten nu op rij. McLaughlin, die is toch het hele samen de lijn vergleed. Dus hij bouwt de kollig zeggen. Rio Hardy. Stewart, dat is toch naar lee heen. Krijgen de zullen in het Gian een goedje goed. Kielach and Nachalach Kraft to that Kala Henos again. Only line Shakoshan Ginista. Madison Finney, I had to the howl of the shopper. Cornet. Yes, Doherty. Took a wheel in the hook to see Arnott. I guess it drops it. See Robertson, Juno, Nasher. That'll do Gracie Robertson's confidence the world of good. She's had a tough time so far against Arnott.
Yeah, definitely. She needs the support there, and you can see it from Eva Thompson, and it breaks up the play a little bit. She's definitely needing the support out there, because the Rangers have expanded the game on both sides of the pitch.
Vies Arnott le room. I guess the Sue Karantrau, Dolomach. Gaat de klechtje gliat een paardje via de Arnott aan de steden Duvers Macaulay de two willen. Inside it, Kerske Georgia Gali Sock, Fiachandi, Nicola Brain, and Nana Line of Ashat in Hocker Cashiers. And you could have duped Francesca Ogilvy ye the Brain. She's a cascus on a game, sister. Cashiera Gainak. She didn't say in a high, you know, it up in a mar. Sure Rangers a chin of these. With me and Macaulay. Noble, Sarati, Theatre, Pach McLaughlin, Fiach in the room, again, Plistia. Go how it to Hakahukal Shechat in the Vanchatarsing. At the moment, it's a bit like attack against defence, Kelly, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, unfortunately. But you can tell Rangers are out for the goals. I think, you know, obviously Celtic winning 9-0 yesterday is a big statement from them, and obviously, you know, getting beat from the league title last season on goal difference. It'll definitely be in Rangers' mind, and yeah, they're gunning for it today.
Well, laten the guy in met haar. Tjechashach Gillis en Grey man, het Celtic, J. Hoe je kleuren daar al haast. Hill, de cool en jullie zijn kussige de vals in de Washgoesten. Hadden we, jullie hadden beetje geskippeld, maar geen nieuwe volkste dat we naar Tavik shot. I guess, zo'n kort kasten horen gekluchtje. Eddie. Vergeet er geen eens meer Macaulay. McLaughlin. Cornet. Yes, a reach of the Karen Asarat, the V Asarat, toch a trip naga. Rangers took a Lucian. Lachlan, Suska Wilkinson, Pidishka Snocks at Anulashika. I guess to Evelyn, Katie Wilkinson. That's a new striker coming to our club. It's always good to get off to a goal scoring start, and she now feels she can score every time she's got a sight on goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she started the game brilliantly. You know, first goal of the game, first goal for Rangers. For me there, though, Aberdeen are absolutely, you know, lost with Kirsty Howard. They're just leaving her. She's sitting in actually quite a clever position in between the back four and the midfield forward, and she's picking up the ball too easy, and she's just turned there and laid it off to Wilkinson, who's had a shot on goal. So Aberdeen need to definitely start out picking up Kirsty Howard in that area.
Triple like up in your shot. The click at the lot. Stewie Pouline. Keen in the hele. Maar hagen dat bekend de Wuling het alle station Kutcher voor Chelsea Cornet het Hannah Innes is winning about. I think Hannah Innes felt just the elbow coming in from Chelsea Cornet there, but she looks like she's okay.
Yeah, actually it looked a bit of a sore one, and it's going to be a battle in the middle there, so Aberdeen need to be up for it and need to start putting a foot in there and disrupting Rangers as they come through the middle.
Doherty starts a coin strain a run and I Kirsty Howard to the issue chin down. Cornet. Sagover nearly quite block corner Selena Gian. McLaughlin due hound agus sin bhuaid bise agus bhórna a sin side on the driplage a chaya dash ich Gale sochge de dieistech san grantje na cúneige a goeie dele Rangers sin snak voor McLaughlin McCall le cheval de stuie agus forstenach de Jachadash on one side. You wonder, Kelly, I mean, I thought initially that Aberdeen were going to start with 3 at the back. They've started with a 4, but you do wonder if it's worth just pushing that extra player into midfield just to try and match the numbers there.
Yeah, I think, yeah, certainly in midfield I definitely agree. I think something needs to happen. Like I say, Kirsty Howarth's doing that kind of awkward role, well, awkward for Aberdeen by coming in between the 2 lines. So yeah, they definitely need to do something there and working together out in these wider areas as well to prevent those crosses in. It was a good take from Sidey there. I think she needs to dominate the 6-yard box. Great crosses coming in, so she'll definitely play her part in the defensive role if she dominates that 6-yard box.
Je laat pullige koppen gaan met je goeie zo op een. Kookt en dat je goeie kamer dan nog. Je laat pullige in nu raaf. Gaat maar goed naar kijken naar Jean. Geen mille voor de voeters en tarhul lijken. School City. Hij is zelfs in een kutfaaltje de Celtic. Dan nog wat Gio. Geen Vianski zijn ik keer een fisker. Doe voor ik City je doe kutje. Klees tar te goed je dan uren. Jean is de ja eentje nog geen camera guys en deze zit. Doherty mag Garnet. Gargus de Vienna path keer ze. Bij Kirsty Howarth. Howarth te hoe de het gechtpech te galop bij down. Macaulay. Cheers McKenna. Voor me go dash. Go Cornet. Magazedi. Macaulay. Niet nobel pikkend te grijpen met Jorre. Hij is zo'n keertje de Shinche zuurdepen van Sound Rangers. Macaulay heen het legaal shot. Kijk al, dat is die Arne te de goal maak. Schult in u in een scootje. Cheers to Valak op een. Macaulay Koshak Valak haken like Arnott. Ancient Garam, Kiliora zijn hoogste 4. Arnott Maha. Art, I guess Sidey, fine door naar de val, kind of fall up. Wilkinson of action, stay the moon. Nu je klik het aan uren, hoe Colin Bell stay the down route. Ju Hyundai Shin me in a park of Eva Thompson. I guess the shake of Humalpel, Pia Hannah Ennis, Shin Juval. Khadish, me Macaulay, Jenna and then about Hannah Stewart. Fiachendich, Hannah Dash. But going back to what we talked about at the beginning of the game, Mia Macaulay showing that defensive side and awareness of her game as well there.
Yeah, absolutely. She does really well to get back. I think, you know, great ball from Hannah Ennis. She's certainly got the ability to hit with both feet and switch the ball. But yeah, you know, she's slotted in there nicely, and she's shown, like you say, you know, she just won a free kick in a dangerous area in the final third, and then supported our team back there in the switch ball. So yeah, great start from her so far.
Shin Kelton te go por een katachu val van Hannah Ennis. Collie the eerste de Valley Duval. De eerste Hannah Stewart vechten die hoort je door. Dat gaan jullie pikshit erheen is Emily Kraft. Lachlan. Carson Garnett. Frekertje Rangers zo verder gaan jullie guur gelaatjes in een ga. Och, Jackie gaan nog Hatte Jelik Kamada Shin, Shokoram, agus a stay these Savile Mava Megan Sidey, and it's going to call off Liv McLaughlin Doganya Drestul. It looked like the third goal there, but what a save that was from Megan Sidey.
Yeah, outstanding save, unbelievable actually. She does really well there. But for me, it starts again from, you know, Rangers. You can see Rio Hardy dropping into that space again, and you can see Chloe Gover not knowing whether to go and follow her. So they need to sort that out at Aberdeen, because that's where all the playmates coming from. But yeah, absolutely, what an outstanding save.
Misschien je maar brein tolgaan je stuk en de game se café met kutjiken illo de wie een paadje. Draske taart femi a Jelik idee. Boshen je de galtra. Hill, Tarsenko, Doherty.
Well, it's our home game, so be here.
Wilkinson. Doherty down aan het gorm met Cool Garnet. De Eddie. I guess how het gepast Karanita Leon. Oh, that's kind of a Bosch and Vashina the Gal Kamatra. Quite clever here. She just moves it off the D, and you need to be aware of that if you're Aberdeen.
Yeah, definitely. That's a sneaky one, that.
Cornet. Cornet to the ish. Fine, you will dash. Drops it. Thompson. Cheeky look at that. I guess started the fast stick and again picking up right. McLaughlin, Hannick Fash picking vintage in a dash. Ollie, go Cornet, I guess to the ish. Yes, we're away for some bit finish. Game of Kumal at all. Eddie lay på Aster Gidach. Gemichtak in Megan Sidey. Sean Noor på Vashin vo Tevamui. Voksevo Eddie Achva Kortal. Energically. Nashar Nashin Lisha Valva Macha Jachko Jadash the Rangers. Cornet. Arnott, yes, pass to the goal of Shecherin. Finney. Thompson. Yes, pass. Haranitra Leon the Vashin, so how it to the Nakora no Kalamia and the Pathket. McLaughlin, Sticko Howitt, the is Shaisha Sud and Miana Pathket, Doherty, Ia Garnet, tuned like a Falaba Robertson, Yachan the Olchanolina, Chili Gadash. What am I about? Look at the Stin Astraya, finished to Doherty, the good Tarsi Miana Pathket go Eddie, I could on Nerp. Just pick and vintage in a dash, I guess. McLaughlin, Cal Smachket, Emily Kraft, Kiri, the operate. Just close at the mark, picker. It's interesting there, Kelly. You could see Emily Kraft asking the rest of her teammates to push up, but it's easier said than done when you're under the cosh like Aberdeen have been so far in this first half.
I couldn't agree more with her. Aberdeen are sitting far too deep. They're inviting pressure, and they need someone like her, you know, dominating the team and getting out of the park. That's got to come from the back line as well. You know, we're early into the game. There's no excuse. They're absolutely inviting the pressure on, and they certainly need to get further up the pitch.
Shot the Fiach and the Shinigiano. Ríis le tastar sin ag crafta san fein gan a búil sin. Cornet go Wilkinson a Chintáin drops it Gish héin agus Howard Chintáin Fakel Hardy ag an oi. Colley Lua Kilioris an fein seach at the Noble. Agus Musi sin is Steve Amy Black I Dave out. Howard Channew Amy Black took to shock op een. Amy Bowlevi a Sharna sin. Arnott, I guess Robertson. No I chéile Ríis Shade. Jenna picking a shot. The jor a chile gadashach. Wung man cowit to the vokse. I guess Tukchiako Hardy. Even the upper gadashka Macaulay. Blockland go Cornets. I guess Kula Sala Wilkinson, Madison Finney as the rod. That's a number of occasions now. Kelly Aberdeen have had a chance to play Emily Crafton, but she doesn't look like me like the player is going to run away from defenders, so the ball has to be into her feet to hold it up to bring other players into the game.
Yeah, and I think this is the type of game that you want her to hold it up. You know, you want Aberdeen to maintain as much possession as possible, so play it to her feet. They're just, you know, hitting and hoping. It looks tired early from Aberdeen, so, you know, they need to keep the ball, play to feet, like you say. You know, she's going to have a tough job of it, so balls in behind are certainly not what's on for her today.
Is play yet, ball dolke tochti and they're good to get the way the good got Cass and Craft. Met the week man a shelter. So those of at the clutch as a gala the school go Rangers initially Eddie the for the mark and goed hem se pieren. Check at the lead. Yes, Rangers da hul ashin it hoshach. Robertson. Tjirach getocht die Ríis geta. Eddie. Chin machas a leach heen. Tarsinka Macaulay. Cornet. Gathered Skyri Dash, Viachan the force flew. Eine da the Vokes of Wilkinson. Howard. Oh, I guess Farabacha Tarsing. Madison Finney got Eine Falav. As Magede go Savalchuk, Rangers Hofask. In the dress style, Shintball na share Suez go Emily Craft. Nishtafe the Tach. Finney Kafaki, I know is Wilkinson. Blue got it. Robertson, Le Palma, Suez go Stewart. Norin te go op rij, moet ik in de groeg gaan nille. Kumal Docherty voetpe. Viagen die prepasja nijn Masuringi. Ganoringi, prepa mag. But at the other end, Kelly Rangers going as close as you can to a third, and this time we've talked a lot about Kirsty Howard, but again she's found herself in room and just denied by the woodwork here.
Yeah, definitely. She's had a great start to the game, and it is a great strike. She's really unlucky. It's so tight in the middle there, but they play some nice 1-2s with her, with Wilkinson, her and Hardy. Yeah, very unfortunate not to go in. But I think we'll see more strikes like that from Kirsty Howard as the day goes on.
Arnott le ball taranja Gillis de agus hat er is the line. I guess well that you the Chian I guess Uadela she is the line flee Arnott le Chevalus de I guess Rio Hardy le Shadara tool again. And once again Kelly comes down this left hand side through Lizzie Arnott and puts her on a plate really for Rio Hardy with a tidy finish.
Yeah, it's another cross and it's another goal, and I think, you know, well done Rangers, but I think it's really poor from Aberdeen. There's no one picking it up. She's got, you know, no one near her in the 6-yard box. I think, you know, Aberdeen should be anticipating a cross coming in. If certainly, you know, you know, there's going to be plenty more goals if they allow crosses like that without picking up in the 6-yard box all day.
Colin Bell with his head in his hands, and if he was under any illusions about the size of the task facing him, they've been well and truly reinforced with what he's seen so far.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think he's probably just looking at his basics as well. You know, you've got a striker sat on her own in the 6-yard box. It is really basic, and I think Aberdeen need to look around them and watch players. Rangers are really good at drifting off their marker, but you know, Aberdeen need to get closer to the players here. You know, maybe go 2v1 in the wide areas. Yeah, as I say, I think his head in his hands because some of it's very basic.
Howard the should have all the me in a packet. And the thing as well, Kelly, this season you don't have a lot of time to get things right, because with 3 teams getting relegated, it's important that you start well and you pick up points early in the campaign.
Yeah, I think every other season, you know, arguably the start of the season, it's never been like this. You know, 3 teams going down is massive this season, and a lot of people are potentially pipping Aberdeen to go down. So he does have a task on his hand, and I think his has probably come in and been more a longer term plan. But as you say, this season they have to do well to stay up in order to get further in the years to come. So yeah, it's a real tough one, and there's going to be, you know, big battles at the lower end of the league this year.
Nou, waar Colin Bell, ik raad hem naar de gelechtje, naar de goalsje, naar Frikkers, of je naar vaak raken fame op rij, je gaat lang nu, dan klik je daar een schare achter Guma lachen, maar dat willen ze niet vlieg gemaakt hebben we al. Lang nu, Wilkinson, die is Arnott, I guess, prachtig, even al Suez, but again, Kelly, this is a real learning curve for young Gracie Robertson. She wasn't aware that Arnott was going outside of there, and fortunately been saved by the offside flag.
Yeah, absolutely, but I think, you know, it's happening time and time again, so learn from the mistakes during the game, and that's what Aberdeen need to do. They need someone in there dictating and saying, you know, move over as a back line, or come in and go 2v1 against Lizzie Arnott, because I think she's just going to cause problems all afternoon for them, and as we've seen, most of the goals have come from this left-hand side.
Je zoorde met naar hou van Noord, maar hou brein de wie hoe veel is toch een skipper de wie ik dat je goed gaan aan een nooit. Just een kroontje haar een call. Trietel, goed park weer. Eentje nog Jenny, Colin Bell like Leon, maar een rooi en ik is een show aardig. Ik heb daar de Charlie McAvoy en ik voor Liverpool. Als je gevat zei ik het daar goed erin. Van de pingers roet ik in de groep gegeven. Die shot de gun at the carrot tail gauw. I guess the drops it Hardy boelige van Chatarsing. That crossbar has taken a bit of a battering in this first half.
Yeah, for sure. Again, down the left-hand side, Aberdeen need to take ownership here, and someone needs to lead and stop these balls coming in from the left-hand side. It's so predictable, but they're not doing anything about it.
Dare I say it, sometimes when you're under the cosh like this, sometimes you need a captain at the back rather than maybe a captain as a striker, just to gather, get yourselves together at the back.
Yeah, definitely. You know, there is experienced players in the team, and girls that will say they're experienced, and they need to step up here, and I think we can all see it. It's not that difficult.
Eddie, wie is agus Wilkinson a clach gynniarst Howard Savile im other side agus Finney agus diachsin siach at line a chayan is me orstanach wo Madison Finney gedan gadash for Lizzie Arnott. Ach by ishe kiri dul you say Ryan sa Rangers of the Kera to line. Shach minute and relay union. It was last-ditch defending here from Aberdeen, and perhaps unlucky that this deflected back from Finney off Arnott, but Arnott was there. She wanted to get on the end of that, and that's the difference at this level.
Yeah, definitely. I think Wilkinson does really well, actually. She lays it off for the initial shot. It's unlucky with the rebound, and yeah, Lizzie Arnott's in there again. She's been so busy at the start of this game. Another unfortunate one for Aberdeen, though. You know, a bit messy at the back. But yeah, as I say, great layoff from Wilkinson there. She also has started this game very well.
Han inte leunja chin luoke leora sana på en. Haast hat kan inside be gimmerige. Hort groeg is het le. McLaughlin. Soundach geturle le leunja. Hardy. De tarring het asgemeen loyal Shinley and Ernest serve the bill the Rangers. McLaughlin, Arsen go Eddie. There's room show like Macaulay. Tor room je. Niet nobele chesu falla voet per. I guess had the goal. Gonna dian. Vaart ne klikt daar nach geheen as via Nicover around who the sewer. But again, Kelly, you could see that coming. Mia Macaulay has far too much room in that far side. She's not closed down, and when the cross comes in, Louis Gover just can't get out of the way, and it's an own goal.
Yeah, you know, I was saying it's not difficult to identify, you know, with where the danger is coming from in the wide area, but you have to give credit to Rangers there, and you know, athleticism, you know, to get past the player and cross it in is, you know, credit to her only, and you know, they're pinging in great balls, making it even harder for Aberdeen. But yeah, credit where credit's due. She's done brilliant, just absolutely blast past and put in a great cross and put it on a plate.
Ach, maar bij hier roomschen niet Mia Macaulay schen. Ach, fatakus room het er heen is nobel. Na roi de koelig heb ik hadden we gefurst die. Maar ik een puntje voor op een eentje geel jaren. Robertson. En Michientje, eindje een vallen account. Cornet. Jack ook alles te gaan. Trouwens het te veel Michientje, sinds de drop zich je bal try kan druppeltje go. Megan Sidey. What a job Colin Bell has to do at half-time to lift his players off the floor at this stage.
Yeah, actually, I was literally just thinking the same thing. You know, it'll be very interesting to see what changes will need to happen. You know, I think we've identified, you know, potential areas that they could get some instruction in. But yeah, that'll be a very interesting team talk. His first one. Be interested to see if he makes any changes as well.
En hier de route naar we gaan een steek op een training kastel geschacht savantings gaan aan een beetje. I guess ja, ik kan je kimmer akkoord as aardig in maar sin die klikt en ha kopel laan unje. Doch het door Asko die voor een game nas kort aliri san ik het jem papje gekje. Cornet to the ish. Macaulay. Cornet to the ish to going to Son Macaulay. I guess at the Ein Shears going to nosh it. Kapak Sapira bal de Rashestui. A Haru Nechke Cornet. Nach Sue boy pische gehortjamach. Chuch Davinach. De Gunyavasje gedaka. Zich le. Megan Sidey. De week matrang. Dan ga je wel de zin. Dan roet naar Vijek ten die United. Ik zou je bij minnaatje waardig ga je niet zeggen je het le. Hier is Chimsy groeien. Je zin is had ik al een ui. Robertson. En is Arnott zien de gele. Must be Coramilla Ac Rangers rola Iwnia Cwywn Chormela. Bawlwch y ddystig yn y fwgsa. Dochert i ddigal mae'r ha go Cornet. Ddys. Msianamach. Habit diolch tiwm dag y falafas. Edrych liekal. Ein Nobel. Ddys Lizzie Arnott. Geiriad. Macaulay Akal am ysmwynyn. Macaulay dylygal sio. Rhyw cholas. Ishal. I guess how it's Sue ga try and triplet go side. Sharavig the Vinachavarach Jedi Hitley. Lachlan, who shades zich begin a screw Yenish, Chin Kachedig Hitley. Juval Troya, McLaughlin, Maya Shia Tull, Savile Mava side Irish. Agus Wilkinson, wel gaan Nurga staat gedara. Shia Tull, de goal is Sheikh Dara Tull. In a game like Katie Wilkinson, agus game Idli Yisha. Heen, agus Hardy Inish, Shidig, Trace Tull. McLaughlin had vi me Orston ac lysyn hwp yn eich eisiau safle maf o saidi ac ydw le volley yn Orson Wilkinson ca hwcal siachat eigicli i fad un ffer y loina. Ys ac jedig fyna chyfarach ca Rangers i the Horts go Shia as a hiedli. Agus, well, Jay Hadol Troingen Caroline Bell agus Kimmer Rus a stat. In the two last shots of Darnley, agus Keatley, the Chinka count, Da Hulva Wilkinson, Garson Hardy, Lizzie Arnott, agus over the Kud Trona Liana Hien. Dronjig is on Rangers, the Gleeunie, Operain, Njoni, Rangers, Shia.
Capelets y Gajera Alec agus welcome Akama Furustus Cort alles on a hier the Ike Rangers and pays and say Asen a dolosai Ike Lea Hunye a Shia Gnyoni it Hoshach it operating as Gajera gives me back the draste but Kelly Forrest had them who the draste I got in the park. Kelly, it's not been an ideal start to the season for Aberdeen. We did touch on before the match that it wasn't always going to be easy this game, first game of the season, and it certainly hasn't been. Rangers winning 6-0.
Yeah, I think definitely, I said at the start of the season, if anything Aberdeen needs to learn from today, I think they need to learn from the first half. I'll be very interested to see what Colin Bell does, because I think the goals are coming from the wide areas and Aberdeen aren't dealing with it very well, so they need to take ownership of that and do something about it.
Well, let's get right to the action. A few goals to get through here, so you can keep me right through them all. But it did start off with a good header. It came from the left-hand side from Lizzie Arnott. And Katie Wilkinson, her first professional goal for Rangers.
Yeah, absolutely. As I say, everything's been coming down the wide areas, predominantly the left. Credit to Lizzie Arnott. But yeah, Katie Wilkinson off to a great start, scoring the first goal for the club of the season. She'll be delighted with that. And yeah, you can see the cross comes in and she's got a great presence up there and knocks it in easily.
And it's a new season, but we've been seeing deliveries like that from Lizzie Arnott for so many years. A couple of seasons ago it was Jane Ross heading that, and this season it's Katie Wilkinson. So Lizzie Arnott right back at it.
Yeah, I think Gracie Robertson out there in the right back's had a tough first half. She'll have to take a lot of lessons from that. But yeah, time and time again, Lizzie Arnott just performs in the wide areas and puts balls into the box that makes it easy for the likes of Wilkinson and Hardy. And I think we've seen that so far.
Now you mentioned Hardy; she was the one who got the second goal, and she's made a habit of. Last season we saw it so many times. She's a 6-yard box striker, isn't she? She's always there in the right place at the right time, and once again just tapping it home here.
Yeah, again, you know, on a plate for her, but she does well to get into the right areas. I think, you know, laterally in that half, we actually see Sidey coming out and dominating the 6-yard box, and she will have to with players like Hardy in and around that area, you know, looking just to put these tap-ins away.
Looking at from an Aberdeen point of view, and I'm sure we'll talk about the defending as we go through all the goals, but how almost demoralising is it that, you know, when it's wave after wave after wave of attack, and sometimes they've gotten off with it, sometimes it's a good challenge at the back, but how tough can it be, particularly for the defenders?
Yeah, it's an absolute nightmare. I think that, you know, it's something maybe you typically see at the tail end of a game when you're tiring, and that's why it's disappointing, because I would have thought Aberdeen would have held their own slightly better than what they have done in this first half. But it's important that they go in and regroup, and they need to learn and adapt quickly in these games, and not just wait till half time, and make changes and communicate with one another on the pitch.
Rio Hardy then got her second of the game, and once again we mentioned there, another great delivery from Lizzie Arnott down the left-hand side, and Rio Hardy, a smart finish this time. Yeah,
absolutely. You know, again, really neat, really tidy, does what she does best, you know, in and around that dangerous area, and just slips it past Sidey, so composed. And, you know, I think she'll be looking for more today.
When you see so many crosses coming in from the left, and we'll see one coming in from Mia McCauley with one of the goals later on, but is it up to Colin Bell to maybe try change something, say something to the players from the sideline, or do you think it should be Hannah Stewart? Do you think it should be someone on the pitch saying, you know, someone needs to maybe double up on Lizzie Arnott?
Oh, absolutely. It has to come before half-time, because then you're going in 6 goals down. I think a lot of that could have been preventable by the girls communicating on the pitch there and then. So, yeah, I'm sure Colin Bill will flag that, but I think it has to happen sooner than half-time, as we've seen.
And then the fourth goal came. The goals kept on coming. It was a bit of a lull midway through the half, but the floodgates opened a wee bit towards the end for Aberdeen, and this was the fourth goal, and we've mentioned her so many times, and a bit of a mess at the back, you have to say, from an Aberdeen point of view, but Lizzie Arnott, fortunate, but if anyone deserved a goal today, it would be her.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, right place, right time. She tucks in. I think I mentioned it in commentary that I think Wilkinson does brilliant. She's shown her presence again. She holds the ball up for the initial shot, lays it off, and then Lizzie Arnott's in there to tap it in. She's done very, very well this first half.
Megan Sidey, though, a special mention to her. It was actually a great save from her there. She couldn't quite keep it out towards the end, but she's made some crucial saves. You know, it could be a lot worse for Aberdeen.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, a goalkeeper for Aberdeen is going to be massive. I think Sidey's a really good signing, and we've seen that, you know, maybe, you know, two or three crucial saves today already, and she's got a presence as well. She needs to dominate that 6-yard box, especially with the number of the crosses coming in. But yeah, a really good couple of saves that we've seen so far.
And she needs to have a good second half as well. But I mentioned the goals were coming thick and fast towards the end of the half, and the fifth goal did come. This time we're down the right-hand side. Mia McCauley has actually done quite a bit defensively as well, but showing her quality down that right-hand side, and we saw that so much last season.
Yeah, you know what, I thought she did brilliant here, and credit where credit's due. I know we've spoken about Aberdeen not really handling the wide areas very well, but Mia McCauley, you know, shows great athleticism to knock it past and leave Noble there, and puts a cross in that just needs someone to touch it and it's in, and that's what you want. And you know, there's been a couple of points in the game where Aberdeen switched the ball and she tucked in really early and she's done well, but you know, her athleticism down this right hand side has been brilliant.
And then the sixth goal came just before the break, and Katie Wilkinson again, she didn't do a terrible amount. She only had a couple of chances herself, but she takes this one very, very well, doesn't she?
Yeah, I think, you know, obviously you can see the rebound again. Sidey gets down and saves it very well, and then she's caught off guard because she's aware of the penalty spot, and Wilkinson just shows her composure and knocks it over. So, yeah, 2 goals. First half playing for Rangers, she'll be delighted. Yeah, she will indeed be delighted. But Kelly, thank you for now. Agus well, so now the shocking Ike Lea Hunye, Ike Toshuk, a hula says and Hatar Hestion, Bergenau Manimmer Tours Machine, who sing Hestion Naga is unglichter for Gachskip and Apparai at the Jacking, Agashaw, Nahurchat thing.
Good start.
Here we go again!
For me, individually, it would be scoring up Tawdry. I would probably say winning the semi-final and getting into the Scottish Cup final.
The Derby win at Meadowbank.
Nothing really comes close to the day we lifted the trophy. It was a great day start to finish, so definitely the highlight of the year.
Obviously the end of the season was very dramatic. It was exciting. When Amy Gallagher scored that goal, that's a feeling that I'll never forget.
obviously would naturally want to say someone from us, someone like Hannah Jordan.
Amy Gallagher of Celtic. Rio Hardy. Kerry Beattie. Amy Gallagher from Celtic.
I would say Kit Lafersky for Celtic.
Bailey Hutchison.
I'm going to have to back myself and say hopefully me come the end of the season.
Us, because I think we're going to do really well this season.
I was quite impressed with Montrose last year, so I think Montrose are going to have improved, and I think they're one to watch for this season.
I think Bailey Hutchison is going to be good for Hearts. Lisa Evans. Jackie Richards.
I'm going to go with Kirsty McLean in the middle of the park. I think she had a great season last year for us until she unfortunately picked up an injury, but yeah, I have faith that she's going to come back flying this year.
Oh, Kirsten Riley.
I would probably say Bailey Hutchison at Hearts.
I'm going to say Hales. I'm going to say Hayley Lauder. She's never actually been my teammate, my club teammate, so I'm really looking forward to that. But obviously, I haven't played with her at Scotland for many, many years. She's so talented as a player, and I'm just really looking forward to being back with her on the pitch.
I think we're always ones to watch, to be honest, Park Thistle, but obviously Queen's Park coming up, they've got a lot of good players. I know Joyce very well, so I'd say they'll be ones to watch as well.
To win the treble.
Titles.
To retain the league title, to do better in the League Cup competitions, and to get to round 2 in the Champions League.
Just to stay up again and win as many games as we can. First and foremost, staying up, then hopefully pushing top 6.
Our #1 priority is, of course, staying in the league. It's going to be a bit different this year with the 3 relegations, so there's going to be a lot to play for.
I think hopefully the next obligation for us is to push on and really try and challenge and be in that top 6.
The highlight of pre-season has been pre-season ending.
It's definitely not the running. We went to Largs at the weekend and had a really enjoyable day, a few team activities, so yeah, that's definitely the highlight of pre-season for me.
There's not been many because we've done a lot of running, but I'd just say seeing all the new girls settle in very well it's made for sort of an exciting feeling around the club, and I think we've got a really good squad going forward.
Probably just seeing the girls again on the day one and welcoming all the new faces to the club.
The Alicante pre-season trip.
Any stories?
No.
For me personally, I would definitely say the derby.
Obviously the derbies, but first game of the season against Partick Thistle.
Aberdeen. The first game against Rangers. Probably Celtic at Celtic Park.
I'm going to love all the trips up to Montrose and Aberdeen and stuff. I love away games, and being in the bus with the girls is always dead fun.
We've got to go with, playing Celtic. I think always an old firm derby's great to play in as a player.
I would say playing against Rangers. It's always a big game, exciting games. They're the games you want to play in. The crowd's good, the good buzz about the place. So yeah, playing Rangers this season.
Montrose to finish first. We can dream. We can dream.
Celtic have got a really good chance of winning it again this year.
Celtic. Just going to have to say Hearts. Celtic.
Hibs.
I would say Celtic to win the league.
Oh, I think it'll be tough, but I'll go for Celtic.
Rangers.
Celtic.
Yeah, I think it'll go late again this season, but my prediction is between Rangers and Celtic and City.
Very diplomatic.
Wel, coelio'r cheistion agus beachyn gymain sy'n agus hefing fo cwtyn y cleichyd yn ha sas yn SWPL yn teisyn sy'n warfa sy'n sŵlaich yr ychydiach iddyn y cemi canela ha tachus haddish y hyd ieddi hechgain i'n teisyn agus gif sy'n beach cwtyn fo Kelly Forrest ha hast called in the drasta. Kelly, of course, exciting always the season starting. We're seeing some of the scores, some big scores as well, unfortunately for the likes of Dundee United, Queen's Park. I mean, that's a baptism of fire for them, a tough start for them, losing 11-1. But we saw towards the end of last season, and we spoke about it at the top of the show, goals could be so crucial towards the end of the season, and all the top teams have got plenty of goals so far.
Yeah, I think, focusing on that, absolutely, the top teams are going to be, there's going to be no stopping them, unfortunately, for the teams that are potentially going to finish lower in the league. But I think it's, there's obviously going to be close games between the lower teams as well, but you've got to try and make it difficult for the top teams as well, so that you've got confidence going into the crunch matches in the lower end of the league, you know.
How difficult is it though for the likes of an Aberdeen here today? I mean, Rangers only last week were at a pre-season camp in Spain, and Celtic have done similar, Glasgow City as well. How difficult is it for the lower sides in the league when you're scrambling about trying to recruit new players, and then you're coming up against sides who, Rangers, Celtic, Glasgow City, who have been training and got their recruitment done so early on in the window?
Yeah, it's difficult, obviously. You know, the preparations are significantly different, but that's on the clubs. And unfortunately, Aberdeen have not had a luxury pre-season in Spain, but, you know, everyone's got the same preparation time. It does make it difficult. Obviously, Rangers are a professional team in comparison to Aberdeen. So, yeah, that's tough, but they really need to, like, minimise the margins in the goals scored against.
In the halftime VT there, we heard from Robin McCafferty, and she was saying, you know, she made the good point, 3 teams will be going down this season. Of course, league restructuring will be going to 10 teams in the top flight next season, so not even a playoff. How difficult is that for sides, particularly the likes of Queen's Park, who have just come up? Montrose did so well last season, and Aberdeen, even though they were 13 points clear of 10th spot last season, you know, they'll have to have a wee eye over their shoulder now.
Yeah, I think absolutely. A lot of people have potentially put Aberdeen in that bottom 3 if they've put out their forecast for this season, which, you know, is not probably somewhere Aberdeen would want to even be named in amongst that bottom 3. But that's how it goes based on previous seasons. But I think from a longer term perspective, Aberdeen will absolutely want to stay up so that they can grow and push further up the table for a top 6.
Is it immediate pressure though for the start of this campaign for the likes of those sides who were in the bottom 6 last season, the likes of Queen's Park who have just come up? Is it immediate pressure? Do you think that the chat about relegation will maybe have to start sooner rather than later?
Yeah, absolutely. It brings a different twist to the season, especially for us as, you know, spectators. I think the lower end of the season league, is going to be, you know, as exciting as the top end for that reason. But it's games like this that, you know, they need to take confidence from. So, like I say, lowering the margins. It's not all about playing the lower league teams. Okay, yeah, you're more likely to get points, but you've got to take stuff from every game.
Yeah, they do indeed need to take stuff from every game. We put the players under the microscope there in the halftime VT, who they think is going to win the league. We didn't quite ask him who they think is going to go down. I know it's early doors, but any predictions from you so far? Teams that might be in a bit of bother, and who, of course, will be lifting the title come May?
Yeah, I think it's so hard to say, obviously, differentiating, but I won't sit on the fence. I probably would say I think Rangers are going to come out and try and get the league title back after being pipped at the post last season. Yeah,
well, they're certainly going about it in the right way and getting plenty of goals. Let's see what happens in the second half. But Kelly, you'll head back up to commentary now. Agus well, a downmarking a goal idash suas gwnach adish. Alec Wenley.
What in time giving Kel? It's a showy blast here late in a shakach in the dash the Joe Potter. Agus Archie, I mean, Navarus Govian Kuchuk get a Kitty Wilkinson has Colin Bell the dash the Vengi Akison. I guess well, Femi Gronkinar who come out Lua show up Opereno Fadakin ma Tolochumar Grey medicine like Korea Jace Mustanikako Operain. I guess Hula to grow the Harlow surely Geltonus Gabuga Gronkina fast and a pair to Operain, Stoch at Olan Union Marakiri Union Hurricane Test Medag, Chiene the son. Rangers, look at the Duchach. As I'm swinging Givelson Dog, and Laura Berry, Kuchach give it the years at the Topanamare, Desan High, Naisha Chianet. Yes, Arge Kuchach Gavian, Maravami Navarus, Holly McAvoy, Chianet, son Robertson. Hier het leek natuurlijk de Gracie Robertson. Dat is een harigje. Een enkel tres harige aan Kuchuk. Emily Kraft. Emily Kraft could daar leek het al zo'n voor een aardige geel aan. Sauna Rangers. Je siarad efo co gysyn at y hwyl ar y Rafferty Chile gan y clicid a nhw dy ha dyd hyn chan y chlub. Ys eisiau sy'n edrych torsach y darn y di. Eddie en hier toe gan y darn y di eich gysio. Stewart. As McAvoy fine hier toe eich gysio mi yn y pathge. Siarad gyda yn harach yn ag Rangers. Yn tag Berry is Rafferty through that Janet. Rafferty hannig fo Southampton Kuchach. Gyda dda iddyn y tŵa. Go McLaughlin. Here's Wilkinson. Coint hat-trick. Maraha Rio Hardy. Madison Finney is Sheen y cas. Y machas yn y bawlain y ffalaf a'ch Chile awr. Arnott. Shouldn't the enw skippelt efo Eva Thompson. Stewart, Scott Kraft. Art for Madison Finney. Nila Ruinev Emily Kraft. Tag I gael ystau fi yn y pathge. Doherty. Scott Berry. Hannig fan y bengi ag lew yn y cwtioch. Kraft y ffag ala hyn yn gynnwy. Cathy Hill y gael Kim yn y mach. Eddie. Machgo Arnott. Then an alch yn y lain yesh sydd arna di. Gwachlin, eistich barach niarstach gys y chi a dymsi. Rhaen gain y ffalaf mae gedig. Droch. Hwyg fo'n y skipper, sy'n. Nis me gyn i mian ag Rangers G. Peter Lilla had the geary ein y sio. Eddie le Coram Bow. Tra hwg al y stig yn y fwgsa. Agus y sy'n y fair with a hat-trick. Wilkinson. Wilkinson looking for her hat-trick, Kelly, and unfortunately for Megan Sidey, the header was straight at her.
Yeah, that would have been some start. Hat-trick in your first game, but yeah, again, Sidey's stands up well. It seems a wee bit awkward for Wilkinson. She gets a touch on it, but yeah, well done, Megan Sidey. I think she's going to be pivotal in this second half.
As the Arnott, the hen al gaan doen, ze kunnen er miast te get kartuif geta. Met elke gondelsen torat je cool, zijn Rangers deze naar Gajach. Stay me aan de path is daar naar die. Rafferty. Prachtig zo is een nu Doherty Deval. Skippen en ik wou good naar vader gelis naar Harige en ik Leeuwen. Changes for both sides at half-time, Kelly, and changes of formation as well to a degree. And Lizzie Arnott now wreaking her havoc down this right-hand side rather than the left-hand side.
Yeah, it's almost like they've predicted that Aberdeen were going to make a change at right back, because you can see Amy Black settled in there at full back, which is a more natural position for her. And I think she'll put on up a good performance in 1v1. It was a hard one for Gracie Robertson, and she'll take a lot from that first half. I think, as I said, could have been more support from the team shifting over, but yeah, I think yeah, and as I say, Lizzie Arnott's come over to the right, and now she'll be up against Niamh Noble. So again, that'll be an interesting one on this side as well.
Eddie Tjón Dagamach go Arna to Diest, agus the trap side, the Buchalach pick and a Sharvo, Neve Noble. Thompson. Should the Gichalach Jidish Chamiana Park, Yakadish Arna to Dash. Janakina Hagi, Falasus alive Clee. Dochertile, Berry, Devamuyi, McLaughlin, Dashi, Yachchich, kind of Varach of the show. Rangers have to readjust. There is a bit of wind blowing now behind them. They were playing against it and seem to be more comfortable playing against the wind than they are getting their passes right early in the second half.
Yeah, they'll probably be finding their feet as well. It seems like there's been a number of changes. But yeah, the one thing that did work for them was, you know, hitting that pivot player in between the back line and the midfield. So it'd be interesting to see if they utilise that again. But yeah, the wind certainly picked up here, so they'll need to take that into consideration.
When you shift Jachkavilla, you shade you pick and a screw, yes, darn with it. You hardy the Vowless on Rangers. Berry, Psychanili, fine. Shachat, Madison Finney, Chaimach, Kuchagami Black. Or a Rafferty, Soccer who is there, cool. Chorus, Jicherichid Kech, Bechete, eating a tour Rafferty. I guess all the enige mag go Ediacha. Die is Jichenya at the kind of passage in Karstrasse down the Rangers. Dain is leeg heen Nobelach en Ringy had ik zeg het Keon Arnott. Medag. Docherty, McLaughlin, Dol Fashgora. Gehunda gemacht die is go Eddie. Wilkinson, via de golle cool line as die is. We have a pass aan Kerst. Wilkinson have called the Joe Potter and they've had that Coventry call like machine. You should now look at the hele. There's Rafferty, largest in yet. And a Stewart dying. Fagal Kraft leheen, ik een en heel kusroen je nachtig. Kinja gefeem met statig in het like Rangers in de hier dames ze daar naar de. Victoria Essen gewoon gele kiel vast geleune en je Shiana Kiriano. McLaughlin, yes, gaan jullie pas fijn trying to toch tegen wie Caramella. Eddie Sud, die is die huis ik het aan. Hij is close te vallen voor Noble. Bal de stick op Casson Wilkinson, hij de Dalcolar. Chloe Gover, say the cool gachar. Hoe is het een beetje dus na takrin is on to the finish. Moe Fatran, maar hier het lee. Yes, op ze Noble. Tjug, kunnen we hier vallen savel tjug. Rafferty traps it, a pass to Green, it Docherty. Rafferty lay Paul Artestui, and is geput into your hardy tata in it, had a goal of kindred pletch. Vi Joe Potter Tollage Limeraski by Chitonshach is the darn day. Sidey, fiachen die bekante gastereinen de Walse. Yes. Een belle county frikkertje van een klichtje aan ekjes en een schoei. Maar daar doe ik leeuwje. Eddie, je gaat die bekende gimpje gedacht, gelukkig Rangers middag. Kijk hier je dash. Hardy. Hill. Eerst bekende schade, Shinvo op een netje goed. Sasha Bruce, let you is there. Big Emily Kraft. En het kustteigje, zo druppeltje op een. De Rikat van een Eva Thompson, Jenema. Voorsteluk, agus emotion. Big de foul, agus farad matcha tarsing. Hannah Innes for a two foul. But more promising for Aberdeen. They obviously Colin Bell has had words. He's reshaped it at half-time, and that's their first effort and goal in the whole game.
Yeah, and I think I was just thinking before that phase of play happened that actually, you know, there's more intent in Aberdeen when man marking, you know, getting closer to the players and disrupting Rangers and making sure that the plays, you know, further back away, and they're preventing Rangers playing in that final third area, which they were doing non-stop in the first half. There's definitely more of an intent from Aberdeen, and then they've kept the ball pretty well there and opened up to Hannah Innes, who's really unlucky and hit that famous crossbar again.
Ja, matcha tarsishin is ma vina heisavast at Koravrak in ju. Thompson of the is tuned the Falaka knock for test middag. Yes, Stewart to the Vimuyi skip at Chili Gadashko McAvoy. Yes, the is Hanuringi Nia Vrigele. And yes, Akora McGarnett, Blistule, Hardy, the Vimuyi Wilkinson at Devastagi. Atolkorio Hardy, Wilkinson, Kairi Savian, I guess a Paul of the Yara Gadash, Natasha Bruce, Chili Gadash, I guess a Tune Gadorish. But Rangers trying to walk this in, and I think Rio Hardy was trying to cut it back to give the hat-trick to Wilkinson.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit hesitant, but yeah, Aberdeen get back, they delay things with Chloe over, and I think Tash Bruce there does excellent to get across and, you know, puts it out for a corner when Rangers could have broken away there quite comfortably.
Arnott. Gal Shokudic. Is gal loopigste je moonside agus Shachat. Well, you could see what she's trying to do there, Kelly. She's trying to use the wind, just hopefully just the ball would drift into the back post, and it almost came off for her.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a danger of conceding corners there. You know, as I say, I just credit to Tash Bruce for, you know, blocking the cross when it comes in, but the corners will be dangerous this half. And, you know, go back to that point about Megan Sidey has to dominate that 6-yard box, both, you know, in play and at corners.
Sidey, Tolichik Jackson Chakate Foskas Havelchuk. Mittag, Gideas Kim Thompson, Jana Platke, Eve Noble, Jenema, fijne val of Arne, Stu Vowle, de goede soort die is gaan door in te kracht, de goede gebeurd, go Stewart, McAvoy, Jeffrey en Avanek Jana Platke. Holly McAvoy has made a bit of a difference to Aberdeen in that midfield area since she came on as well, Kelly. She's busy at presence in there.
Yeah, she's a player that wants the ball and she keeps the ball when she's on it. She's not just giving it away aimlessly. You know, she's, you know, buying time for her team and getting involved. But yeah, definitely made a difference.
Oh, he the Jiva Finera Shinta Wilkinson, but Humiki, Garosidi, Faralina, Fiachandi Hokal Shekhatara. You could see the intention there. Kelly Wilkinson saw that Sidey was off her line and tried to lift that over her.
Yes, definitely going for the hat trick.
Is gaan jullie een kusur dat ze wel een nieuwe kuie aan Chile gedaan. Die blakke fijne gogen die haal het aan. Dus de lijn die is toch het eerste raad. Shanashar, we gaan een shirt vegen de heel dat gemaakt die is go niet nobel. Ach, gaat hij heel. Van Jekle echtje Wilkinson ka Granke Shiers geen tennis naar plak terug hier de shin maar we Kiorik het aan. Hardy weg. Wat een berry de bemoeie Docherty maar trainen de bemoei. Jagen die een tarsing maar is een Finney mag jagen die staat toch gedaan. Zuur depen we zo toe op een plak de haringe dash. Die is karm gaan vadige geen morele. Skippen we ze stries aan een jichtel. Zelfs te kijken vele jichtel. Glasgow City we ze vegen die een in de SWPL. Zit dan niet nog collage geen alone stil. Keer door een fisker. Tachje die wel. Je vegen die pik aan de hoek al rustig op erin. Stewart, die is minstens de bal de deur, dat gaat een moer en ruin en kracht dat je een maat Chile gedacht vudig 2 jaar gaan alleen in Gianna passen dat je was in het daar. McLaughlin go Wilkinson. I guess again they're just not getting this pass right with the wind behind them. It also allows Aberdeen, I think, Kelly, to push up more from the back, whereas first half they were sitting back inviting pressure. They can now afford to push up a bit, and that, I think that's probably helping their midfield as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's, you know, it was a tough first half for Aberdeen midfield, but yeah, it's the through balls that they're not coming off for Rangers. You know, just to need to take a little bit off it, but they're also not getting much luck down the wide areas like they were in the first half. I think, you know, putting Amy Black out to the right's kind of curtailed that a little bit. But yeah, you're right. It's allowing Aberdeen to get up the pitch more, and it takes the pressure off the back line. And we've seen them getting behind a couple of times in this half so far.
You wonder why that change wasn't made earlier at right back.
Yeah, potentially, but I think, you know, like we said in the first half, you know, that probably could have been managed better by the team as well.
Yeah.
And I think, to be fair, it's not a reflection on just Gracie Robertson's position. It's a collective, and the team should have identified that much earlier on.
Tolletje Paula Terlikelmach. I guess Tanschig gedaan de leke manager. Goed en nu je kopper gegeven. Is vergeten dat je keren dat je goed kalas naar jaar of kutje. Wilkinson, Bruce, strijden aan. Wees Tash Bruce, kijk maar pel meer een paardjes. Al game kraft chinne gloos het ze winnen zo'n kohana in is naar Roy Shinny gaan we karen met Eva Thompson skippelt het gaat de leka lages op reine vacht ge begorga via de gogen again I say the fakale trim chidag kechel nelle Perry vegen de room jenige heen I guess the chin for Madison Finney is mag had that gone in Kelly I think Aberdeen would have been enraged because they felt they should have had a free kick up of the other half.
Yeah, I think they might have felt they should have, but I'm not sure it was. I think it was just a bad knock as Eva turns, tried to try and get away from her player. I've seen it back there, maybe not, but yeah, I think Laura Berry does really well actually. She cuts inside and a great block by Maddie Finney in the end, but yeah, I think the referee was actually right to play on there.
Huka Aguas and Shoe like Eva Thompson had Pakale a lot, I guess Chamachigas in the fee and Mara cramp beginning to set in already.
It did look a sore one actually.
Eva Thompson had the Vimata up and you mean the pathke. And another thing that Colin Bell has changed, Kelly, is the training. Training early morning now rather than the evening. So it's interesting. It's obvious he's trying to work a whole culture change here at Aberdeen.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a good idea. Obviously, better for the morning people, but yeah, I think it's good. It allows players to have their evenings free. You know, it's unsociable hours typically that you've done what you do when you play football, and I think getting training in before some players might have to go away to their work is not a bad idea. And it means that you can get more time with the players. Full pitch facility at Cormac Park, and I think it's a really good idea, and it allows him to spend more time with his players.
Yeah, I think his issue was that in the evening they were having to share a pitch as well, which is not ideal from a coaching point of view.
Yeah, absolutely.
Game, Nimish Tonshchu the Ish, Berry Arnott. That's a no shine. I guess Arnott viechen de nu gelezen wel. En je leidt op Ashka McLaughlin. Zij je de hoek al. I guess Shech de side had de Shech getul aan. Maar je de gauw laat het pristje trooien. I guess McLaughlin van meer orsten zich hier het lee. I guess maar je de gauw laat de bouwlijn Shech had de Megan side. But she was unlucky in the first half. Liv McLaughlin, she threatened a number of times. The crossbar stopped her, and this time she lifts this over from distance. You'd be looking at the goalkeeper though and thinking you shouldn't be beaten from there.
Yeah, absolutely. But I actually think she's quite clever, because I think she sees that the goalkeeper is slightly off her line, and she doesn't typically go for the smash, and she does see that Sidey's off her line, and she does really well. And it's definitely a corner from the training ground.
Yeah. I guess natuurlijk is een Megan Sidey giet. Nou was je een keer het Liv McLaughlin, hij de toy kleine giet hul in een deze nine. Shach of Tull, the Jews on Rangers. Jerry Hach kent de Jemmichin Ferravilsnid na Torren Jehul Anchen. Nu je Unjia Kajus on Hearts, Shach Kajus on Glasgow City, Shach is on Rangers. Listen, bro, Jerry Hach in die van for either Hul. SWPL. Wilkinson counts on the rest to like she has. Paul de goal maakt het. En is 40 minutes de goal. Unieke leeuwer haast. Zo'n trillig heul. Bro kaart is een dag goed voor Eddie. Ik is Stuart dat gereedje de lekkelische game kumel het al. Stuart. Ik is Arnott. Street. No ball. Juval de stikko. Eva Thompson. Adasje de kassa nach. Dat is een Tjecho. Futse. Je wil als je hoe die Arnott. De kumel is die. Ik is Vinnie in de zalen. Daar Urp kunnen we jullie mag. Doherty. Scott Rafferty. The Shiadi is going to Doherty. Yes, maar hier de haal. Black guy in a follow-up. Hardy. Hier Doherty, die is Krisha Paulus de kollig. Ishal. I guess Wilkinson uit de haast. De Shidig. De triste la feme wie. Rierichtje. Je play Bosch en Jamie Black. Die is just a raad. In Urpechje. Arnott in de slie en oud. Ja, dan nog zijn. I guess Jay te hopen gedrupt. Als je net de groen roon en echt geen voetpje. Geen sperrie die is. Koper gekaddet. Gaan vast. Ja, gezade goal. Een stuk aan de liaan. Uedelen. I guess I'm zwinken wel Wilkinson in de hat-trick eigenlijk. McGeady. Wilkinson getting all the plaudits, but you have to praise Lizzie Arnott as well. She's been really innovative from these corner kicks, and Aberdeen just can't deal with the quality of the delivery from the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an outstanding cross, but credit to Katie Wilkinson there. I think she has to almost headed it backwards for it to go in the... But yeah, she does. And, you know, what a way to top off your hat-trick. You know, I think, you know, for me today, that's a great start when you've just joined a club and first game of the season to score a hat-trick is excellent. But yeah, the corners are, as I said, they're going to be difficult for Aberdeen this half, and especially with Lizzie Arnott putting them in.
Och, Gignoni, da ich jetzt ein Kook of Tool gaan Jedi Hakan. Agus, die Black and jullie bullig het krijgen, maar je de sinds shot alles caramel the Rangers they bosh and you could the Well, we said that the wind was causing problems for Rangers, but they're actually using it to their advantage now.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what I was saying with the corners, you know, great delivery plus the wind, nightmare for a keeper.
Arnott, the Slianul Uadela. Gefostui. Liedi, ka Kumala Shamach, go Perry, the hook al Stiach Hardy, fine account finishing, I guess Barley, I guess he in a coin to son, Trace to like you, Hardy. Perry le cheval Stiach, I guess Sheen in his on Fiach the smach kind of the Shinach. Shoei Karan Slee Howl like Tasha Hadarn, the Lepichu Potter Kamanas Tolich. Marata the grey man the to the game. Wilkinson with a hat-trick again. McAvoy Kachuchagadash go over ha Jahukala follow. Thompson. Sarich of a hell of a brain. I show you have growing in a hawker Tasha Hadarnady. Rangers initially sounded Barakul. Demoralising from an Aberdeen point of view, Kelly, because they had steadied the ship at the beginning of the second half, but now is threatening to run away from them again.
Yeah, but I think that just shows the calibre of Rangers. You know, you can't switch off for a minute, and you've almost...
Oh, Shaw Coram is going to get it to Wilkinson side iron. I guess Nui Tull who had Celtic J have Rangers the new routine with you. I guess Sapit game is on Wilkinson a heat game Fachbishach Gisayed K Tull line. As we were saying, Kelly, great debut, competitive debut for Wilkinson. Got her hat-trick and now has her fourth, and I think she's about to be subbed off, so she timed that perfectly.
Yeah, great through ball here, you know, and great turn but unmarked. And yeah, I think, you know, she's had a great afternoon. I don't think she'll be too disappointed if she was to get subbed off. I think Rangers will use this as an opportunity to rotate the squad. But great finish and great composure. That's her scored with her head twice now, I think, and 2 goals with her right foot too. So yeah, what a start to her career at Rangers.
It's Juval Levant trying I guess the later is on operating. Rafferty, Doherty, Loughlin. Zat een isje daar hullen vallen van een jig tul goed hard naar strijden dan je skut. Jamie Blackjug Tolletje goed de magie Duval. Shin Corums toch het Rangers en Harigin Ashinigiano. Ellie Austin, en klikt aan het other in it. Sophie Black as yn chigan y clichet an ogach yn iliach cwp blangiac as Lizzie Arnott Dolye as Wilkinson Kuchach Dolye, and as you suggested, Kelly, Joe Potter just taking the chance to give some of the players on the bench, only 6 players on the bench for Rangers today, but another good moment for Sophie Black, 15 years old and coming on for her competitive debut for Rangers.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think they're, well, first of all, I think the fact that they're getting to rotate their squad will be massive for Joe Potter to get everyone a run out. But yeah, the calibre of youth that's coming through Rangers is excellent, and the fact, you know, that she's getting the opportunity to play these youth players, you know, more, as often as she can, will make such a difference to their season.
SWPL i dag vokse. Arnott coint die bal ille loopige stijg, dus brein aan snummen, maar had de wie fat in jesker. Hardy, Katie, via en die bestuurder Darakec. Joe Potter krijgt een pingetje bij de Duitsland le, maar hij gamese de goal. I guess Colin Bell, well, Jay Garson and Isha, Kimarato, Hokal. Click it and a shot for a lot. We've just been looking at Colin Bell there. Now, Kelly, what does he now do? I mean, if he must have known it was going to be difficult, but maybe didn't appreciate just how difficult it's going to be to rebuild this club.
Yeah, well, I think today, if anything, he's got perspective on what he's up against. You know, I don't think he will have expected anything in terms of points from this game. But yeah, I think, as I say, it'll give him perspective on what's to come. And, you know, it's probably going to be a long journey, but I know he likes a challenge. And as I said before, I think he's certainly got one in front of him.
Enes Dolye, agus Darcy Miller, vai the course nu in Veruri Locos again vach gemi an shach gang. Full kuchach de troch gracht an met diction nach heise fine pick and vintage next jidige yeah. Siding and nu na kuju pick and the fuchtige sin van McLaughlin nach reach the tollage like Alicia game come at top. Austin. Bal karen het cool berry ach in ma eine dash. Really Austin. Je kan die eine dashje. But again, it's a nice play from Rangers, Kelly, but it's all too easy from an Aberdeen perspective. Someone has to put a foot in, stop that easy ball all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was really neat play there. Some good through balls, but yeah, you're right. I think Aberdeen are just too far off the mark. You know, player v player throughout the whole game. It's been the theme of the game, and when they did have that bit of momentum, they were actually doing that, and they were holding on to the ball, and they were, you know, playing further up the pitch naturally. But yeah, I think, you know, as I say, I think it's a theme of today. It's just not been that tight enough, and they've not challenged Rangers enough, in my opinion, all over the park.
And if there has been a bright spark for Aberdeen, I would suggest maybe Eva Thompson, who's been quite productive for them in midfield.
Yeah, Eva's a really neat player. She keeps the ball so close to her feet. You know, very, very, very neat player. Will hold on to it, and actually has got a bit of quite a deceiving strength about her, and confident on the ball. And she'll be a player that we want to see more of this season for sure.
Luringa fuse tol a ein dash na minute na rakel chudig skelel picken a share the lag Ivach Martin Rangers moeig bristige falla se jech tol ein die shoulder room my Lizzie Arnott McLaughlin for the Rafferty goal de mooi I guess Rashin fat the falla na smua McLaughlin show you into a line. Side 8, talúte sin ecinn dul seachad túbh fust. Having got her goal, Kelly, Liv McLaughlin fancied another one, and that wasn't too far away.
Yeah, she was looking very confident in the second half, and but I think Saidi had that one covered. It was just past the post, unfortunately for, well, thankfully for Saidi, but I think she did have it covered in the end.
McAvoy, Gronka Shears got Kraft, I guess. Dulich, Hannah Stewart, fine, Hanashin, Jihrat, Danshachara. Uur, Jichad, Soch, Gazinelika, Hillis, Kach, ne Passage nach Gein Karstes. Amy Black, Jalika, the Shishin. I think she thought the keeper was coming for that, and then Amy Black had to make her mind up for it, which you always should do as a defender, I think.
Yeah, Amy Black deals with that right. I don't think she knows what's happening, but she just gets rid of it, and I think that's the best thing you can do in those situations. Just about communication between the back line at Aberdeen today. I think it's need a bit more of it.
Do you have a legele was Saidi? Hook al Shachate Vachatarsing ach Chili Yachucha Mediash Medag Arnott, I guess the is Jamie Black. Jimmy nach gaan getuned like Sir Peter Rakach, McLaughlin ka hook al Lasha Steve, a puchtig se vok sekata. I guess gewoon een keer reach the shin. Stegan hoch minutes in Megede, I guess. Cute Kaffa get up around, Kajik Gloch. And Goers Holu Siga, say have had games the Hurska count. Havia the Sana Hikin at all Kajik. Doesn't finish, Gally Soch good. Kafak speed up in the game, a good cut. Yes, kind of on Kraft. Ja, can die tune like Sir Pine a Falavach. Die is Kust de Lynch and Gurra Jimmy Kilorach, Evie Thompson, and the Vinny-Kadash. Also, Chick Gayu, Mr. SWPL SWPL Rafferty sa Ellie Austin Suri Dusa me give the ball lichtje met ik morgen hier me gedig hou. Ellie Austin Sophie Black het al sheers alleen nach Renige Chili gedash Gurlia Eddie. McLaughlin tot Sule Mach. Ten je de live glee. Hardy and Nurin Yisha hat-trick again. Tuned Gagas to the fatally shot to the first van Earps and Vuipa. And clearly Rio Hardy still looking for that hat-trick as well, and that wasn't too far away.
Yeah, she does really well, but you know, I think Maddie Finney holds it up initially, and then she just takes a touch away from her, and then she just gets a chance to turn too easily, in my opinion. But yeah, she's probably gone in for a hat-trick too as well, but she's unlucky past that post again. Strikes it well, but just probably doesn't get enough curve on it.
Rafferty. Steiko Black. Carlos Mishniach Loris and look at that Coif Bunjiak. Look at that more large with Kuchak. Noble. Strie en een kuie had Tokala die is. Black, Jenna Roma shot the mid-tag. Tarsing, agus Arnott, agus hata the Jake to a line. Machine opprach gesnok, gedish, agus a drapse. Is the Arnott who dele. Yes, we're moving to Megan side. Sheana Yunamayu unselfish play from Tess Middock. She probably could have taken that herself, but she plays in Arnott, and that's her second goal, and a really good finish from Lizzie Arnott.
Yeah, it's a cool, composed finish from Lizzie Arnott there, and you're quite right. You know, it's unselfish, but I think it is the pass. You know,
yeah.
Lizzie Arnott sat open out wide there, and you know, with the keeper to beat, and she does that comfortably to get the 10th.
Jech Gugnoni is on Rangers. Russian Ismunian could be a corner. Russian Ismunian could be a corner shot. Arnott, the black. Middag, me Austin, Chile Gadash and foul line. Hey, they got a cool line in each Illy Austin and Isha stays. Karamaka, two line, you show Veil. I guess I get it right, Taring Yadashishin. Sophie Black, if you can the end, it's just Kala Hooksham at Hooksham can Megan Sidey. How did that not go in?
I think that was a definition of a scramble.
Stramash, I think is the word.
Yeah. Like folk lining up to hit that one there, but yeah.
I think Aberdeen were slightly fortunate there as well. I felt Ellie Austin was being pulled back as she tried to get that
I think
second effort.
you're right, actually. I saw that as well.
Three minutes in the Goon Avish Chadaka, Lunia Kilorak, Rangers Sigolko, Unjiuk, Quinn and the Hearts. McLaughlin coming to son. Hardy, Tundag, agus Roshuna to the Muyevox and to the stay a reach at the Fadakin Karachi, Demol of Oxet. Survey Pavazan, McAvoy, Lekal Hardy. Just on the line, just outside. Agus toch a corm ma yedig ag Rangers hor chachat a jich. Mittag agus Arnott. Mittag gal an olig is an shot. Da finish de goeie varach geviaking. Kerel Savala ag opering. Arnott gakel Mittag. I guess Sidey come on Gray Midaval. Actually she does well there, Kelly. It's a lot of players in front of her. Does well to hold on to and not let the ball spill. If she had, it would have been another goal, I think. Yeah,
she does very well. You can see the Rangers players surrounding her really quickly, but she holds on to it well. It actually looks like quite a good strike, and she pounces on it straight away. Yeah, well done Megan Sidey there. I think, you know, that could have been another one for Rangers if that had bounced off her awkwardly.
McLaughlin. Black Leakshin Kata. Into the last minute. We think there'll be 2 extra minutes, Kelly, but ooh, who's going to be a player of the game today? You've got quite a choice from the Rangers bench.
Yeah, well, we've obviously had a lot of goal scorers, but for me, yeah, I think Katie Wilkinson, you know, debut for Rangers, comes in, scores her first goal, and then finishes off her game with 4 goals in total. And I think, you know, she's going to be a real presence for Rangers this season, and that's shown today. Absolutely, you know, what a start.
Up Toshach is on Katie Wilkinson. Game nach Zürich niet gepraat. Kelly down, guys. Hastig Jich Turl. Agus sinnad chorus livin an sinnad da vinnas de gúin de varach chosk. Nurin ganna níteach ma géidig a seo tían luach I learas op reinin sin varach hele. Amy Blacker ein Macedar na leva glúisi núlcha na dúsin. Betal je. Agus Lewis Edwards Sinead son vinnan sneomar sinna hadaka. Say fine suag I the Valka Julisha. Foul suas kan nou. Shachat at count Gova. Lishit kind cart Alishin Fataniska. Blistjuk Austin. Agus shock Codamus and a Nuna Tul Giok. Agus a lot of Betty. It's Chinigiano. Gadig het op een Jelik de Javal simply of Shin. Shachat at count Chloe Gover. Agus an the Huad Austin. Agus Betty is stay the cool. Hoe Fallachin Karo Tul Lila Father Gadig het Madison Finney staat te gedorren. Agus Cort Alison Laura Berry ring gemaakt topper na maar daar in de liga en het is en ga de hier tul gena het en eines on Rangers agus maar laten is kunnen die Hearts goed een tul Gio knas traie de Jesker maar dus me kanach die skipper Colin Bell heeft de een tul Gio gehaald ga sinne tachert ja ju Hallet heen agus op een de giedig heel hard die gaat door die hat-trick wijsje schiedig ach al panagastje gela Katie Wilkinson lekea tuilach in het tuil giek is on Rangers agus bisschen een kleintje van Katie Wilkinson de minutes naar rein dat McLaughlin heen de leap na tuil Arnott go over de kultur na lian heen agus giedig Laura Berry is show ik paat geval moral kreeg nog ja op een Johnny, Rangers a hunjuk.
Tapleitse Kajera Alec agus well Groenhull a Juta Rangers agus well Kajera Groenhull hadish either Jide Hacking as Vatson SWPL. I'm just wondering kere dai it's a hawk tull hadish either Jide Hacking as Vat a hier Jide Hacking yen a league agus well sin biach gedraste voor Njalige had we call think Fatanisker Kelly Forrest Kelly 6-0 at half-time, it finished up 11-0 to Rangers. As we expected it was always going to be difficult for Aberdeen and it certainly was that and Rangers just clinical.
Yeah, I think absolutely, you know, huge credit to Rangers. They've come out, they've absolutely dominated the game. They've come up to Aberdeen, which was, you know, typically used to be a hard place to come. They've ticked that off the box. 11-0, rotated their squad, got game time to a number of players, so they'll be delighted.
And you mentioned rotating their squad, but there were a lot of that was a familiar team. There were only two new players in the starting 11 there today, and I suppose that's good continuity from a Joe Potter point of view. She maybe thinks, you know, I'm sure would like another player or two in the transfer window, but that's a very strong team.
Yeah, you're right. They've not changed much from last season. I think, you know, getting a number of subs on today would have been important. There could be more to come from Joe Potter and signings, let's just see. But yeah, I think they look a solid outfit and, you know, arguably it could have been more.
We're hoping to talk to a couple of folk from Rangers shortly, so we'll chat a wee bit about Aberdeen just now. I'm bitterly who knows, I don't think Colin Bell has ever seen his side lose 11-0. How does he pick his players up? Yeah,
I think, you know, as we mentioned earlier on, I think, you know, it'll probably be a bit of a shock to him. He won't be used to that for sure. But he's got to take perspective from today and a lot of lessons learned and make sure it doesn't happen again. I think that would be the message. You mentioned though it shouldn't happen again, but they do have Hibernia next weekend, who got a great win themselves today away from home against Partick Thistle. They have Celtic in a few weeks' time, who of course beat them 13-0. Last season, so you know tough games are coming and coming and coming. It's only really once it gets to September, mid-September time, that maybe the so-called easier games start coming from Aberdeen. Yeah, definitely. I think though you've got to take something from every game, no matter who you're playing. And I think, you know, as long as he sees progression, I think that's something to take away. He knows that it's been a bit of a rash start to the season for him, you know, that he's hit the ground running. I don't think he's probably had a minute, you know, he's brought in players, you know, last minute, but, you know, hopefully that improves as the season goes on and he gets more momentum from his players. Yeah, well, all the best for Aberdeen, particularly for the next few weeks of the season. Let's see how they go. But you named Katie Wilkinson player of the match, and she wears the number 44. She scored 4 goals herself. Let's have a look back at some of her great moments, her great goals today, and most of them actually were fine finishes. And this was the first one all the way back in the first half, in the first few moments, and a great header. And we mentioned it so much, but Rangers at half-time, but we mentioned how amazing Lizzie Arnott was down that left-hand side, and that's where Rangers really got a lot of joy out of, wasn't it? Yeah, I think, huge credit to Lizzie Arnott. Aberdeen couldn't cope in the wide areas in the first half. I think they tidied it up in the second half. You know, there wasn't as dominant down the wide areas, but yeah, Katie Wilkinson does great for her first goal, you know, up for the header and, you know, nicks it in at the inside post. But yeah, I think for me, you know, it's her debut game. She comes in and scores 4 goals. I think it's a great day all round. But no better way as well to get started for a Rangers career, is there? Get 4 goals on your debut in the league. Oh, absolutely. I don't think you'd ask for anything else. Well, we can actually have a chat with Katie Wilkinson now. Like I said, Tully Chirakaville, Katie Wilkinson, Agus Joe Potter, calling a drasta, I got to Parker. Katie, Joe, we meet again. Hello, how are you? Hello. You good? Thank you. Yes, well done. Joe, I'll start with yourself. 11-0 today. All positives today, are you happy with that? Absolutely. I think you've got to be positive after winning 11-0. I think it's important we kept a clean sheet. They're the things that we're looking to do a little bit better last year. Like, I think that could have been 11-1, you know, at some point last year. So we made a real emphasis at half-time of keeping a clean sheet and making sure we're secure at the back. And I thought the defensive work structure does really well to go on and allow this one to put 4 in the back of the net. Well, I was going to say, I'm sure it helps when the new signings come away with 4 goals in their first game for the club. But Katie, we're just having a look back at some of your goals just now, and you seem to enjoy yourself out there today.
Yeah, I think that's the important part, isn't it? There's no point being out on the pitch and not playing with a smile, which is something you like to drum into me quite a lot, and I love scoring goals. So, how much are you just enjoying your time in Scotland so far? Yeah, I think just a fresh chapter for us, and you know, we've had a really good pre-season, been able to work on things, you know, getting up to speed with the group, but also individually, and just really try and implement that with the group. And what a start. You mentioned working on things. Some of these goals, Joe, I want to actually ask you about this. These short corners that we've been seeing today, and there's quite a clever one down here with Mia McCauley, I think, and Lizzie Arnott as well. And is that something worked on over the summer? Yeah, I'm not going to give you all my secrets, but yeah, we've asked the group to be a little bit more creative. You know, as I said at the end of last year, I think you're there to be shot at, and you've got to come up with something new. You've got to keep bringing something, and we've got a real creative group. We've got players that can score goals. We've got players that can create goals from nothing. I think you see that time and time again. So I've asked them to bring a little bit more this year, bring a little bit more confidence if they need any, and be a little bit more creative in those moments. So yeah, I think you'll see a few more of that in weeks to come. Looking forward to it. Not to dwell too much on last season, of course, it ended disappointingly in the league. 11 goals today. Celtic got 9 yesterday. Glasgow City got 7 themselves. Yeah. Are you looking now at games, particularly against the likes of Aberdeen, that maybe 3-4, 5-0 isn't maybe enough? Yeah, well, you can see that. I think the proof was in the pudding last year. You know, as I said, we've looked at maybe not conceding the 1 and 2 that were scrappy goals last year. We're trying to take that out of our game to help us the other end. Bringing people in like Katie can help us at that end. So, you know, we're trying to shorten that gap on that goal difference, because that goal difference for me was too big last year. So we do need to make sure it's something that you go after. When I first come into the league, I would have just said, get my 3 points and that's enough. But you can see now from last year that it wasn't. So it's something that you learn from, and something that we've got to make sure that we tighten up on, definitely. Well, Joe, Katie, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the season. We'll see you again, I'm sure. Katie, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Trying to get my Joe Potter agus clichadar a game due Katie Wilkinson. Agus fishing soul aicherach well, Giljar Hill, mar hoort me. Daichet a hawk, Hammy Smurnjachug, Celtic Punik, and they Gignoni, the J, and they Dundee United. Agus Noors and Hibernian, Joe Machas and Joe He Pungan Hashin, a Rakahun, and they Partick Thistle.
Topan y mahad y bwynnig y cwyc y hyn yn ei Spartans, Glasgow City y Siach Gynioni yn ei Montrose, y hyn Giag Gyhyn, Hart agus Queen's Park agus mar afis ac Rangers y bwynnig y hyn le until Giag eith falaf yn y day yn ei Opereng. Agus tíad cúteach the híing masalasing an seo iad BBC Alapa, go leor spórs the híing agus hasing a dás le camanach de Sarnia, a deach go bhlá díach yen lúnastal ag da uad fiscid. Camanach an ápaing atol an a ceanna úsich an a cuairtíana cuchuí cheallai. An nuair sin bishing a dás le trí gemichin von SWPL Celtic, Glasgow City in Ayatónich, an nuair sin Celtic a díos topan na mahad agus ag jéide go bhías Montrose is Rangers agus runna sin bishing ag Linkspark cúteach le game for Liga hyn agus well tá políise a son a bhí cálaing a dú agus mar sin live an drasa bhuaingulach.